Everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming tonight to celebrate our maiden voyage of a stage reading play called Juneteenth. I invite you to listen with your third eye and an open heart. My name is Enid Pickett. I am a poet and director and playwright for this production, and we are the Enid Pickett Players. We are a cultural community theater arts collective, and we invite you to take this journey with us over the generations beginning in 1865. It starts there, then we go to the second act, 1963, the heart of the civil rights era. And the third act, we land right back here in 2025. Each act depicts a time era that we follow the struggles and the resilience. And I really want to focus on the resilience of a black family living in the United States. The story is fiction, but it's highly probable. I would love to thank and recognize a few folks that helped make this miracle and production possible. First, I want to thank God for everything, and I also would thank him for this miracle. And I'm thanking him for you because I believe each being is a miracle. So we're sitting in a room full of miracles right now. I want to thank my ancestors for inspiration and guidance. I'd like to thank Darren Youngstrom. He's the pastor of this New Vintage church, as well as the entire congregation of New Vintage. I really love this church. This is my church. I also would like to thank Samuel Fleming. He has all of his art in the corner. Please give him a shout tonight. And Samuel came from Palm Springs. He used to live in Sonoma County, and our 31, actually it's probably more like 35-year friendship, I think it is, has lasted all this time, and it's always been centered around art and pushing the envelope of what beauty is and what is art and what is black art, and he exemplifies that. So that's Samuel Fleming. Lewis in the back, he's the artist who gave Juneteenth her face. I really would love to thank also Caitlin Elizabeth. I don't know if she's in the house tonight. She's my muse. And Erin Anova, she's the artistic director. I want to also thank Ryan Porter, who was Darren Youngstrom's protege. He's the understudy, so he's here to take his place. And I would like to thank Dr. Raquel Holmes and Martha McCoy and all the folks at the Freedom Festival USA. So we are partnering with them. There's a really wonderful, fruitful relationship. I want to also thank our musician tonight, Keenan Webster. Here's Keenan. He's a master musician. He truly is. And I also would like to thank you, all of you, for coming and spending this time with us and to take this magical mystery ride called Juneteenth. I also would like to thank in the back our tech team, Lauren and Sean. Let's give a shout out to them, everybody. Lastly, thank you and for coming out tonight along with the family and friends who are watching a live stream. I think we're on 5 continents. I really do. And I know we're in at least 4. So we are going to have our voices amplified around the world. And I'm happy for that. So without any further ado, let's enjoy the second debut of Juneteenth. Thank you again. There will be a short Q&A, an international one, the streamers, and a live one here in our auditorium. After the performance, there will be a Q&A. Thank you, everyone.
you, child? You done lost your mind again. Stop that yelling before Miss Martin hears you now.
Mama wipes her hands on a rag and stops her daughter with her other hand. They walk to the table and she tries to calm her down.
I know, Mama. This is bigger than your biggest secret.
Now tell me, child, what is it? What is you making all this fuss about? Better be good. Why stop me while I is working? Whatever it is, make it quick. Make it quick now. Speak your mind.
Mama, what I was trying to tell you is, I found this in the fire pit.
Girl holds a letter up and waves it.
Miss Martin threw it away, all secret-like. And so, I took it out for it burn up. I know it got some words and some letters on it. Do it, Mama? Do it have any good ones?
You done lost your mind now, girl. You know this is old Miss Martin's words. If she finds out you took it, you know what happens to you. Now give it to me, quick like.
Girl sits down on the stool and looks up at Mama.
But it is, Mama. All I know is that Miss Martin was surely upset when she throws it into the fire pit. Her face was as red as a juicy, ripe, rotten tomato.
Girl pours herself a cup of water and drinks fast. She looks up at Mama, looking at her inquisitively.
Oh, my Lord. Girl, you go get Uncle Butter. He knows what we need to do. You runs fast to give him this. You run fast and you run hard and you never look back. You hear? And don't you say a word now. You hear?
Yes, Mama. I know it was special. That's why I takes it.
Girl puts the letter in her pocket and runs off calling loudly for Uncle Butter.
Uncle Butter, where are you at? Uncle Butter.
Scene changes to Uncle Butter's place. He is standing at a small table with one broken chair. Bare walls except for a hook with a rag on it. Girl is yelling and looking in the side window through a torn curtain hanging half open.
Uncle Butter, you in there? Open up the door. I got something special for you.
First he hears Girl. Then he walks around rushing. He's holding a cloth with pages in his hands. He hides the cloth of pages inside the crack in the wall and covers it up with the rag hanging from a hook. Girl watches him hide the cloth of pages from the window. She opens the door, rushes in, sits down to catch her breath.
What's you hiding in the crack, Uncle Butter?
Hush, ain't got nothing to do with you, so hush your questions.
Uncle Butter covers the crack with the rag and walks to the table.
What's all this fuss about, girl? You knows I got to get back to Miss Martin's horses before she thinks I ain't there.
Girl tries to catch her breath.
Mama told me to give this to you right away. Look.
Girl gives the letter from her apron pocket and gives it to Uncle Butter in a secret, clandestine way.
I got some letters for you. See? It's right on this paper. See?
Uncle Butter goes to the window and closes the torn curtain and walks around, and he goes towards the girl at the table. He is nervous and very suspicious.
What you say, girl? Hush, hush.
Girl whispers loudly.
I says I got some letters for you. I took this from the fire pit. Miss Martin threw it away, and she was so mad at it, she threw it into the fire. She was even cussing. Uncle, I took it as soon as she turns her head away and wasn't looking, and then I hides it. Then I runs and runs to show Mama. And Mama says gives it to you. Here.
Girl wipes her head and fans herself From running and running, she pours a small cup of water to drink.
I've been running all day with these words and letters.
Uncle Butter walks to the corner of the room where no one can see. He looks around and checks the window before opening it up slowly. He holds it close to his eyes, examining the letters and words.
I see an O. I see lots of E's too. And some ones of these I don't know yet.
What'd it say? What'd it say, Uncle Butter? Tell me some letters, Uncle Butter. Did I do good? Did I bring you some good ones?
Shh, be still, girl. Don't you see I'm a-reading?
Uncle Butter holds up the letter, examining it, turning it sideways, always.
Hush now, child, and let me read my letters.
He scolds her a little, continues to read aloud with a smile on his face. Girl just sits and watches him and sips water.
Yes, I see letters, and some of them ain't burnt too bad either. You done do good, girl. You done good. You done real good. Now go home now, and don't you tell nobody, I mean, not a living soul, not anybody. You swear? You cross your heart and you swear to me now, right now on Big Mama's grave.
Girl stands up, walks to Uncle Butter. She crosses and crosses her heart in exaggerated ways.
I swear as Uncle Butter. I swear as nobody, no somebody, will never, never know. But you. I swear as forever and ever. So help me God.
Uncle Butter and girl hug.
Now go on now. I got works to do. So do you. Send my news to your mama. She's my only blood sister left.
Girl gives Uncle Butter another hug and walks out the door. She skips down the aisle to go back home, singing to herself. Uncle Butter opens the envelope, takes out the letter slowly, and holds it to his heart. Then he opens and goes to the hook on the wall and takes down that rag and pulls out a cloth. He walks to the table, puts the cloth down on the table carefully. He takes out a few torn pages and pieces of paper and looks at each one carefully, putting the letter inside the cloth. He carefully wraps it and ties it with a string. He puts it back in between the crack and covers it up with the rag. Then he starts to pray.
Dear Lord, thank you for these here letters and for these words. I know you sent it to me for some reason. And I promise to care for them all. I promise to learn what these mean before I die. I know them special, and I believe you want me to have them. I promise to care and to learn to read before I leave this earth. I promise to share this blessing as soon as I get strong in my reading. These letters have a message that only you know what you want me to know. I understand how important. I really do. I really, really do. I won't let you down, Lord. I trust you for all things. Amen.
End scene. Uncle Butter is home, sleeping on the floor. A bugle horn blows. Uncle Butter jumps up and goes to the door and listens. He paces the floor in fear. Suddenly, there's a loud knock at the door. He looks around, thinking to himself out loud.
What's this all about? Why the war done come to Miss Martin's farm?
Uncle Butter peeks out the window, then he moves the curtain slowly, turning his back to the door.
Why all these soldiers are marching? Is we at trouble? Is we at war? Lord, what do I do? What do I do?
Peeking out the window, he sees soldiers marching in formation, carrying flags. He walks up and down in distress before he goes to the door and slowly opens it. Soldiers march into his house, standing at attention.
The United States Union Army has posted these orders from the Honorable General Gordon Granger. Every slave is to report at the square at sunrise tomorrow. Be at the square at sunrise. All slaves must obey this order from the United States government. Signed, General Granger, United States Union Army, June 17, 1865.
Soldiers exit, marching out. Uncle Butter walks around the table before he sits down.
What Miss Martin gonna do? She won't like this United States order from some old General Granger, man. Oh no, this ain't right. I do hope Sister Girl and all are all right. I must tell Sister Girl the news right quick.
He grabs his hat, exits through the door, shaking his head, talking to himself. Next scene, Sister Girl's house. Uncle Butter bangs on the door. Uncle Butter yells loudly.
Sister Girl, open the door. Right quick now. You got to hear this.
Sister walks to the door and opens it. Uncle Butter rushes in and sits down at the table. Then he jumps up, walking back and forth, and finally, he walks up to his sister and speaks.
Sister Girl, you ain't about to believe what I is gonna say. The war done come to the farm. Soldiers come to my house. They say some general man from the United States Union got some kind of orders. This orders, they say, is for all of us slaves. Got to go to the square at sunrise. Come tomorrow. Them soldiers, they march right into my house. And they all had guns and everything. What are we gonna do?
They embrace each other with fear. They anxiously look at each other as they sit down at the table to discuss this together. Girl sits down with them, holding her doll, looking at them in silence.
When did they come?
Early morning time. They come just for light. Them soldiers, they just walked right up to me. I was sleeping and dreaming, and for all I knows it, I hears this horn blowing louder and louder and louder, and my ears hurt, my heart hurts.
Girl hears this and runs over to hold her mom.
And then I hear this banging and banging at the door. I think it's the slave catchers. I feels like I'm gonna die today. Sister, I tells you, they came right up to me with guns too.
Sister Girl and Girl look at each other with fear.
Oh my Lord. Did they hurt you, Butter? Did they hurt you?
No.
Uncle Butter shakes his head, gets up and walks around, then sits back down again.
That's the part that I don't understand, Sister Girl. They didn't lay a finger on me.
Uncle Butter walks to the window to see if anyone's there.
They just talk loud and march loud and talking about some kind of order. I don't know why they didn't kill me, Sister Girl. Them soldiers just talked and then they walked right out the house.
Sister Girl wrings the rag in her hands and looks really, really scared.
What this mean, Butter? You know more than anybody around these parts. What news have you heard?
Uncle Butter and Sister Girl sit close to talk. He slowly looks around and leans in to talk to Sister Girl.
Remember when I tells you I heard those young colored sailors from Galvansport talking about some Freedom Day's coming, but nobody knows what they's talking about.
Sister Girl nods her head and leans in more.
Yeah, I remembers, Butter.
Well, they've been talking and talking about this Freedom Day for months and months, but it's just sailors talking tales. You know how sailors tell tales?
Yeah. They do.
It just ain't real. So I keeps on telling myself it ain't nothing but crazy sailor talk. But maybe, sister girl, it ain't. Maybe you thinks this is the same that order from General Man.
Entering to the house abruptly is Mistress Martin. She walks with a cane as she bursts into the room, yelling at Uncle Butter and sister, shaking her cane at them both.
Butter! Sister girl! What are you up to? Butter! You two, you listen to me. And you better listen real good. Not one of you is going to that square. Tomorrow at sunrise, you ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna see that ugly Union Army. You hear? You hear me?
Uncle Butter, sister girl, and girl quickly sit up and look down at Miss Martin in fear and faithful obedience.
If I finds out better that you or sister done gone down to that square, I'm gonna have Big Joe beat you so bad, you're gonna wish you were dead. And then, I'm gonna sell you to the first buyer. Myself. You hear me? Don't you pay no mind to what that Yankee general said. You hear me, girl? You hear me, Butters? Don't go to that square. If I finds out that you done gone down to that square, it's gonna be your last day living. Now go on. You all got to get back to work. Go on. Get.
Both Uncle Butter and sister girl bow their heads and look down. They answer by shaking their heads in fear. Then Mistress Martin storms out, slams the door, walking with a limp. Uncle Butter and sister girl hold each other in desperation and fear. Sister girl starts to cry just a little bit.
Oh, come on now, don't you cry. Don't you cry, sister girl. You stop crying right now, little sister girl. We come this far and we still together. Don't worry, we will find a way to go on down to that square tomorrow. This time I knows it must be real. So why did Miss Martin come all the way down here to tell us not to go? She must know something. She knows it must be true. Don't worry, we be all right together, girl. Girl, 'cause we coming with you too.
Yes, Uncle Butter. We gonna be together.
All we need is us. We be together. We be stronger than you know. We be family, and family is strong. Now we better get some sleep tonight. I comes back here with y'all at sunset. I stay here with y'all, and we go tomorrow morning to when the sun come up. That's what we're gonna do. Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
Mama, could Miss Martin really sell us all off like she say?
Listen now, girl. You listen to me good. Child, we be together by blood forever. Nothing is stronger than our blood bond. Nothing. God put us together as family. We be family even when we die. Death don't separate us ever. 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 Now you says it. Death don't separate us. Ever. Ever. Ever.
End scene. The next morning, sunlight pours in the window. A rooster crows loudly off in the distance. Uncle Butter, sister, and girl, dressed in their best clothes, walked out the door holding hands with their heads held high, walking together to the square. Next, the square. You see people all ages, some holding babies, standing everywhere. Some sitting, some in small groups and singles, standing, waiting around, just talking. Then a horn signals the arrival of the Union Army soldiers. The crowd forms an opening as the soldiers enter. Soldiers march in formation through the crowd with the flag. General Granger, sitting on a beautiful black horse, holds a scroll. They march around in the entire square, then suddenly stop. General Granger is about to speak. He reads the scroll aloud. He is pompous and authoritarian. Uncle Butter, sister, girl, and girl standing in the crowd, looking around, talking to the folks and waiting with the others. Granger reads slowly to the crowd as they all listen.
The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States of America, all slaves are free. The President of the United States, the Honorable Abraham Lincoln, signed the Emancipation Proclamation on the first day of January in the year of our Lord, 1863, stating that all persons held as slaves shall be free forever. That is all.
There is a brief silence in the air as if it is suspended in disbelief. Time stops just for a moment. Then you hear a voice cry out from the crowd. Several members of the crowd look at each other with mixed emotions. Some begin to speak out loud.
We free? Why, we free? Glory, 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 hallelujah, Lord, we is free.
What free mean, Mama?
We's free? We's free? We's free! Oh my gosh. I never ever think I see this day my whole life. We ain't never be nobody's slave. Never, never again. Never. Oh, my Lord. I have prayed and prayed for this day. Thank you. Thank you.
Our ancestors are smiling. I'm smiling. We is free.
Mama, this day must be Freedom Day. Freedom Day forever. We ain't slaves no more, Mama. We free. Finally, finally free.
A celebratory dance breaks out. Everybody is dancing and singing. Some people are in shock, some shaking their heads in disbelief, some are holding and kissing their babies. A day of jubilee. People hug and yell in silence. Soldiers are standing at attention. General Granger quietly watches the cheerful chaos. Some children go up to the soldiers and make fun of them. They mock them and march like them. Some people cry and some yell and fall on their knees in joyful prayers, thanking God for this miracle. Cheerful chaos. Next scene, Uncle Butter's house. He's putting all his things in a bag, rushing around the house, taking only his most treasured items. Suddenly he stops and looks out the window and closes the curtain and goes to the wall with the hook and takes down that rag. He reaches into the crack and takes out the cloth of pages. He takes out each piece slowly and kisses it carefully, puts it back in his basket. He looks around the house and wipes a tear from his eye, and then he blows his nose with a handkerchief. He straightens himself up, throws that bag over his shoulder, picks up that basket, takes one last look before he walks out the door forever. End of Act 1. (1963), the year of the bombings and riots in Birmingham, Alabama. aka Birmingham. We find the descendants of Uncle Butter and Girl living in Birmingham, Alabama. The date is May 2nd, 1963, a very historic day. The Children's Crusade in Birmingham. The children jumped, this is true, they jumped out of classroom windows, marched out of doors, walked out of schools to be met with fire hoses and Birmingham police dogs. They were non-violently protesting the right to vote. You see, back then, black people like me, we couldn't vote, we didn't vote. This Children's Crusade happened just a few weeks before the March on Washington, which was August 28th, 1963. We find Uncle Butter, we find his great-grandson. His name is Benjamin Freeman. He's almost 15 years old. They call him Benny. He is with his cousin, the great-granddaughter of Girl. Her name is Ethel Williams, and she is 9 years old. They kept the family promise to always stay together no matter what struggles they face since 1865. We find them planning to join the hundreds of Birmingham children for a surprise children's march. They are planning a nonviolent protest for voting rights called the Children's Crusade. Ethel is at the table writing in her journal, and she hears a knock at the door.
Who is it?
It's me, Benny. I came to walk you to school like I always do. So stop playing and open the door. I know you're in there, Ethel.
Ethel writes in her journal.
And this is going to be the best day in my life. I will always remember this day. May 2nd, 1963. Forever.
She stops writing and puts the journal away on the bookshelf with her stacks and stacks and stacks of other journals.
You gonna keep me standing out here all day or what? And I know you ain't coming with me today. All I'm doing is walking you to school.
Ethel walks over to the door and she lets Benny inside. She yells, then whispers in a sassy, bossy way.
Yes, I am going. Yes, I am. I am coming with you whether you like it or not. I don't care what you say, Benny. I ain't scared of going to jail. And you can't stop me from going today neither. If you try, just try and stop me. And I'm telling Mama.
Ethel has her hands on her hips, being defiant and brave.
Okay. Just shut up. Keep it a secret. Just be quiet. Nobody knows what we're doing today. You always running your mouth. Let's just wait, sit here, and listen to DJ Cool. His morning show's about to come on right now. Will you please just stop talking and just listen up?
Benny walks to the table, sits down. Music starts playing softly on the transistor radio. Benny looks around and thinks to himself, and then he says,
Okay, you come as long as you don't talk. You always talking and talking. I'll walk you to school as usual. 10:30, we walk out. At 11 o'clock sharp, we meet up at the 16th Street Baptist Church.
Benny turns the radio up and hears the voice of DJ Cool.
It's 7 a.m. Get up. Get your booties up. Good morning, everybody. Everybody, eat your breakfast and brush your teeth. Time to get tight, time to get right. Today, cats and kittens, it is your day. Get your mittens ready. Today is indeed the day to pray and then go play.
Benny and Ethel look at each other with a serious look.
Y'all know what I mean? Y'all get smooth and get ready to move. At 11 o'clock sharp, I said 11 o'clock sharp. I mean, as sharp as a tack, Jack. Today is the day. Today is our day. You dig? Now listen to this new groove by Mary Wells called Two Wrongs Don't Make a Right. Okay, we planned this meeting, remember? Now this is for real.
I know it's for real, Benny, and I am ready. I ain't scared of no white man.
Here's the plan. I will walk you to school as usual. Check.
Check.
Then exactly at 10:30, you check out like a light. I'll meet you at 11 o'clock at the 16th Street Baptist Church. Check.
Check.
Then we all march downtown. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
They'll give us protest signs when we get to the church. Check.
Check.
Ethel looks at her watch on her arm.
11 o'clock. Means no CP time either. I got my toothbrush and sandwich. I even made a sandwich for you too. You're the only one in the family that loves peanut butter and bacon sandwiches. Ugh, nasty. Benny, do you think they're gonna be mad at us for going to the protest?
Benny takes the brown bag with the sandwich.
Mad? Well, yes and no. Listen. Our family has always had a history of going and coming and going and coming during the hard times. They lived through all that mess so we can have a better life. This is our time. This is our hard time. It's our turn to fight for our rights. We can't just sit around and do nothing. We got to do something. I'll be there with you too. You dig? We're gonna be all right. It will be out of sight.
Ethel walks around the room gathering her school things, preparing to go to school.
Yes, our people didn't come all this way from Texas to be living like slaves again. Living with no rights is like living like a slave, Benny. We have no voting rights. We don't get treated like human beings. That is wrong. Just plain wrong. This protest will change the world. I know. I can just feel it.
Benny is watching Ethel prepare for school, listening.
Yeah, Benny. I am more than ready to fight for my rights. No more bombing. No more killing. No more bombing here. No more Jim Crow.
Benny and Ethel walked out the door with the radio playing.
Turn now to look back at an historic protest in Birmingham, Alabama. 60 years ago today. Beginning May 2nd, 1963, thousands of children began a week-long series of protests against segregation in Birmingham. The campaign became known as the Children's Crusade. When the children took to the streets, the local head of the police, Bull Connor, used high-pressure fire hoses and dogs to attack the children, many of whom were arrested. Images of the police violence was broadcast around the world. One photograph captured the moment when a white police officer allowed a large German Shepherd dog to attack a young black boy. The Children's Crusade began at the 16th Street Baptist Church. 4 months after the protests began, the Ku Klux Klan bombed the church, killing 4 little girls: Addie Mae Collins, Carol Robertson, Cynthia Wesley, and Denise McNair. In a moment, we'll be joined by 2 guests to talk about the Children's Crusade in Birmingham. But first, let's turn to the scholar and activist Angela Davis, who grew up in Birmingham. This is Angela speaking in 2013.
And how many of us remember that it was young children, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, some as young as 9 or 10, who faced police dogs and faced high-power water hoses and went to jail for our sake. And so there is deep symbolism in the fact that these 4 young girls' lives were consumed by that bombing. It was children who were urging us to imagine a future that would be a future of equality and justice.
We now As you can see, it's Act 3, and we're in 2025, right in the middle of June. We meet Benny Jr. Benny Jr. is the grandson of Ethel and great-great-grandson of Uncle Butters. He is a high school teacher in Northern California. Preparing his class for another Juneteenth lesson, he's planning a digital multimedia presentation for his students for Juneteenth. So he's taking some pics with his phone to share with his class.
Look at all these old folks. This must be my grandfather back in the day. What? What's this? Oh my God. This is one of my grandmother's journals. She wrote in this when she was just a little girl.
Benny holds up photos and discovers a black and white journal that his grandmother wrote in when she was just 9 years old. He continues to look in the box of photos and he sees a torn, old envelope. He opens it and out falls another envelope. He looks inside and finds a cloth, the same cloth that Uncle Butter used to hide his words and letters in. He carefully opens it, holds it up, pages and pages of words, just like Uncle Butter used to do. He holds it to his heart, just like Uncle Butter used to do. He can't believe what he sees. He takes each one out carefully, examines it. He kisses it carefully, just like Uncle Butter used to do.
I can't believe it. This is what my grandfather told me about. When I was just a little kid, they always used to tell us, this must be my old Uncle Butter's words and letters. He used to teach himself how to read and write. Uncle Butters taught lots and lots of other folks how to read and write too.
Benny Jr. opens the letter and he reads it. Out comes a very, very old man. He's holding a letter and is about to read it aloud.
To my darling daughter, Miss Mary Elizabeth Alice Martin, this is my last will and testimony. I feels the touch of death is near, and I must make things right before I meet my Maker. I am in my true faculties and right state of mind, writing this will. I hereby pronounce the full freedom of 3 slaves I currently own, known as Uncle Butter, grown man, his sister, Negress named Sister Girl, Sister Girl daughter, a young Negress named Girl. They family has worked here at the Martin farm for years and years, way before my daddy was born. I gives them each $10.
The family look at each other with disgust.
I leaves all my wealth, my 104 acres, my 709 slaves, and all my other animals and properties to my only daughter, Miss Mary Elizabeth Alice Martin, to own, manage, and oversee. Signed, the Honorable Joseph Gerald Bartholomew Martin, on this day, June 17, 1863.
Benny wipes a tear from his eye and shakes his head. He stands up and then he says,
Now I really have my Juneteenth lesson for my class. Wow. I can't believe they kept this all these years. My family, thank God, my family. Thank you, Uncle Butter. Thank you, Sister Girl. Thank you, girl, for keeping this family together.
Next scene. Benny Jr. walks into his classroom decorated for Juneteenth. His ancestors are standing in the corner of his classroom, watching and smiling.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mr. B.
Okay, class. Put your phones away. Time to get started. Let's say our class pledge. This pledge is by Abiodun Oyewele of the Last Poets. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy, and free. I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters grow. I want to feel good about me and to blame no one for my misery. Because I'll be strong to turn it up and around. I want to go up. I'm not going down. I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come true. Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art, even when it was sad. I want to share whatever my gifts, and when you're feeling low, I'll give you a lift. I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being here, and know that we are blessed for being here, and know that we are blessed. This is our class pledge from the Last Poets.
After the pledge, everybody, every day, goes into class, and Benny asks his class 2 questions.
What do you see that was not here yesterday? What do you know that you did not know yesterday?
Students enthusiastically raise their hands to answer.
Before you answer, I have a little something to show you about Juneteenth.
There's a lot more decorations, a lot more Juneteenth decorations up here than there were yesterday.
Yeah, the Juneteenth decoration colors are red, black, green, and the same colors for Black liberation. I know that Dr. Opal Lee is that retired teacher from Texas who started the movement to make Juneteenth a federal holiday in 2021.
They call her the grandmother of Juneteenth.
She worked for decades to make Juneteenth a national holiday. In fact, did you know at 97 years old, Dr. Opal Lee walked from Texas to Washington, D.C. to bring international attention so that Juneteenth could be a holiday?
Didn't President Biden give them a presidential medal for Juneteenth?
Good. Who else has some facts to share with the class?
Yeah. She got millions and millions of people to sign petitions from all over the USA, getting support for our newest federal holiday.
My family signed that petition too.
Can you imagine an old teacher, 97 years old, walking over 1,400 miles from Texas to Washington, D.C.?
She did. That was amazing. She's an OG and a real baller.
Yes, she is. She believes in freedom. She believes in justice. She believes in liberation for all her people. That's why we study Juneteenth. It has a rich history of our past, the present, and the future. In West African traditions, they have a name for this. They call it Sankofa. Raise your hands if you've ever heard of Sankofa before.
Benny Jr. goes over and holds up a Sankofa carving for his class to see.
Here is a wooden handmade carving symbol of Sankofa from Ghana, West Africa. The bird is holding on to the egg. That egg is our future, looking back towards our past. You must know your past to understand your present, to help navigate your future.
Many of our ancestors died for freedom, dignity, and justice. And they're still doing it today, too. We will never forget what they did, who they are, and what sacrifices they made for all of us.
She is a legend. She is a hero for real. Juneteenth has been celebrated in Texas for decades, way before the federal holiday began. And don't forget, it started in Texas first.
Yeah, my relatives are from Texas, and they've been celebrating Juneteenth for years.
And don't forget that the local church was the first and only safe place that celebrated Juneteenth as a community. And churches are still doing it today.
Yes, class, all our facts are correct about Juneteenth. You all are great. Now, I would like to share a very important historical document with you all. Here's a letter from a slave owner. He's writing his last will, granting freedom to 3 enslaved people who are my ancestors.
He holds up the letter carefully. All the students raise their hands eagerly, ready with new questions. The class freezes.
Listen to me good, girl. Child, we be together by blood forever. Nothing is stronger than our blood bond. Nothing. God put us together as family. We be family even when we die. Death don't separate us ever. 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 Now you say it.
Death don't separate us ever, ever, ever.
Remember, slaves did not come from Africa. No, teachers, poets, healers, scientists, farmers, architects, philosophers, mathematicians, artists, men, women, children, human beings, all of our ancestors came from Africa. What kind of ancestor are you going to be?
The end. Thank you all. It has been a joyous adventure, don't you think? And we're so honored and thrilled and happy to see friends and family and friends in the audience sharing this experience with us tonight. And it means a lot to all of us sitting in the audience as well as us standing up here. And we also have a Q&A that's going to be narrated and facilitated by Dr. Raquel Holmes. Let's sit down, y'all.
This Q&A, and I'm going to speak to the audience that is online as well. Audience online, you want to go to your email to look for the Q&A link, or to the website, freedomfestivalusa.org, to the event page, and there'll be a link to the Q&A, and you can write your questions in there. I give this to you. You will pass it through. And we have, I believe, a volunteer who is going to come, Grace, and have the microphone for the audience. You can take that one. And even before that begins, let's meet our actors. I'm going to turn this over, and then we'll keep going. So we'll start here and go this way. They're going to say who they are and some background.
Hi, my name is Bruce Almighty, and I've been practicing love and humanity for the past 70 years.
Hard to beat that.
Hello, my name is Nate, and I fell from heaven.
My name is Nancy Pritchard, and I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 50 years. Born in Detroit. Pepper sprayed in Ann Arbor.
And I'm 8 years old.
It seems that I continue my activism, and I'm also a musician.
My name is Christopher Bowers. I guess politically I'd identify as white, but ancestrally Nordic, Celtic, and my background is also just in this community, and so it's wonderful to be here with all these folks, all you folks.
Hi, my name is Nadia Hill. I grew up in Santa Rosa, and I've been doing theater for about 10 years. I'm 16. I've been doing it since I was 6. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
My name's Bree Foster. I grew up here in Santa Rosa, and I am a nurse. I am happy to be here and just really proud of the community and excited to be able to participate in this production today.
Hi, my name is Zanetta Arthur Asgill. I'm a healthcare manager by profession. If anybody has a bad tooth, come and see me in practice in Roanoke Park. That's my other life.
I'm Rielis Dotson Newman, and I was born and raised in California, but my ancestors are from Louisiana, Lake Charles, and very wonderfully overjoyed to be participating in this event.
I'm Sabria Abdullah. I am a Texan descendant, born in Beaumont, Texas. I am also the NCC, Nubian Cafe Collective's executive director. I also am a former radio, Rebel Blues Radio for KWTF.
Hello, my name is Ngame Gray. I'm the Executive Director for New Bridges Youth Collaborative. I've been in youth development for over 30 years, and I'm just a lover of great human beings, and I practice human kindness every day, as we all should, and a Sonoma County native.
My name's Ryan Porter, born and raised in Sonoma County. I work here at the church,
And I love learning and I love beautiful things, and this is both of those things in one.
My name is Maya James. I am 8 years old and I was raised here.
My name is Woodrow Farguson Jr. Just a beautiful moment making new memories. I'm a gold recording artist and I have a Grammy, and this is my West Coast mom, and I'm proud and honored to be here.
My name's Enid Pickett, and I've been in this community half my life, just seems like. I am the director and writer of this play, and it's my honor to work with every single person here tonight and to be sharing this with you. So thank you all again. And here is...
Let's give it up for Enid. My name is Keenan. I'm just a music enthusiast. I love music, the history, historical stuff. And also, I'm born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. So I've been out here in California for a while. It's been a great experience, and thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, I'm Dr. Raquel Holmes. I grew up in Sonoma County. I'm considered the lead Freedomista for the Freedom Festival, which was started here in Sonoma County in 2023. This is the beginning of 16 days of celebration of emancipation to independence, as called for by Opal Lee. Opal Lee said it would be great if we celebrated for the 16 days from Juneteenth to July 4th. And so this is one of the 22 events that are part of the Freedom Festival, and it's a brilliant opening to that. Questions in the audience? Hold on, thank you.
I am just wondering how we can take the lessons from Juneteenth and apply them now when we are now fighting, or still continuing to fight for freedom and equality, when equality feels like it is massively under attack.
Yes, for any of you.
It's in our DNA to fight for freedom, to thrive for a quality of life. That's why you see plants bursting out of the ground. They're fighting for the freedom of the sun so they can be in the sun's light. That is a natural law. People will never stop fighting. People will always have an objective for enhancing and improving and learning and growing. So it's a natural law, I believe. How can we take this and apply it to public schools? That is something we all can have that conversation about. And I think it's going to be in mathematical numbers. The more people talk about it, the more people share this experience, it will multiply.
Wonderful. It's coming.
Test.
The microphone is coming.
How did you decide on the decades and sort of the dates? How did you decide on those slices of those days that you decided on?
Well, it was an easy decision because those dates are in our history record. And one major date begins with 1865. So that's where the story begins. So it has a beginning, middle, and end. We are in the middle with 1963, that's second act. And now third act is the end of the play, but not the end of Juneteenth, but the end of the play. So those are the three dates. And it's also generational dates that you were following the family, and it coincides with historical record, what actually did happen during those times. So we wove it all together.
Well, we have more questions, and the microphone is coming.
This was such an emotional experience, and I'm wondering, especially in the first act, what it was like for you speaking the words of your ancestors. What emotional things came up for you?
Playing Sister Girl, playing Sister Girl was very emotional for me. I wanted to make sure that I brought the sense of anxiety to her character. Obviously, I can't imagine what it must have been like to live for generations, knowing that you would never be free. And so there was a sense of anxiety, but also a sense of hopefulness. And I wanted to try to bring some of that to life in her character. But it was obvious, I mean, it was emotional for me. It was hard to, I mean, I'm feeling it now. So the fact that you felt it means the world to me. And something we were talking about yesterday was bringing the history to life. I'm sure that was a goal for each and every one of us. But yeah, it's challenging. I know a lot of us went home yesterday and had a lot of energy around it. And so yeah, it's a process, and I just wanted to remain open and let it move through me, and let that DNA, that memory that I know I carry in my bones, just speak through me. And Enid made it so easy with the words that she chose.
I also feel the energy of the past of enslavement every day, just because of who I am and what I look like. And I also have to think about it, and I say to myself, if my ancestors survived this through enslavement and living in this time that I'm living in now, I can survive this. We can survive this. And we have to pull together. We have to pull together.
Enid knows I love to quote. So I'm going to make a quote here. The great Kwame Nkrumah said, "I am not an African because I was born in Africa. I'm an African because Africa was born in me." I happen to have been born in the United Kingdom. The sun never sets on the great empire of Britain from east to west. However, my ancestry, I have it living in me. My family are the Maroons from Jamaica. We're feisty. My great-great-great-grandmother, no kidding, was on one of the ships that was sent by the British Empire. We fought the wars in Fernando Po, and we were promised freedom. On the way back from Fernando Po, the ships were being diverted. This was at the end of the slave trade. A lot of cargo was dumped in the sea. We were the lucky ones. My great-great-great-grandmother was one of the lucky ones. They were the lucky ones that survived because they knew there was something in Africa to go back to. There was mutiny on board ship. The ship was diverted to Fernando Po. From Fernando Po, they made their way over to Freetown. If you know the history of Freetown, we were returned to Freetown. The Creoles were returned to Freetown. They fought, and they fought. And that fight lives in all of us. I'm lucky. My dad is Ghanaian, and that's where we went out of the door of no return. Ghana now has the diaspora return and return of the diasporans. The blood never sleeps until you put your foot back on the ground. I am not an African because I was born in Africa. I am an African and a proud black person because Africa was born in me.
think the greatest gift that we all have is our voice. And when we use our voice, it reverberates throughout the universe. And as Uncle Butter's letters, his letters are history that continues forever. So when we use our voice, history will be made.
Should we go to another question in the audience?
Yeah.
Am I on here? Yes.
Okay, thank you. I've heard it said that impression without expression leads to depression. And one of the things that Africans knew how to do was to express. We are sitting here with a lot of emotions, and they need to be expressed. So I'm going to offer a little bit of something here. May the work that you've done speak for you. May the work that you've done speak for you. And if you fall short of your goal, someone else will take a hold. May the work that you've done speak for you. And if we could all, it's an easy tune, right? May the tears that you shed, may the tears that you shed speak for you. May the tears that you shed speak for you. And if you fall short of your goal, someone else come take a hold. May the tears that you shed speak for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Did you want to say something? No. She was saying thank you. We have another question.
For the elders who are up there who were alive in 1963 and are seeing similar images happening now in LA, we saw similar images in 2020, 2014, giving credit to the playwright and author about resilience. What can you share for us about having to continue to fight these same fights over and over?
Having ancestral relationships helps. Knowing that we can be in touch with another perspective of guidance and wisdom or prayer. Knowing that there's always going to be a positive solution, maybe in your lifetime, but it's going to be. The last thing I'd say is that resilience is something, it's an active verb. It's something you have to do. So you stay active, you go to meetings, you make phone calls, you have opportunities to meet with other people, you engage, you have dialogue, you plan, you actively participate in a relationship like that. And the resilience is going to depend on your commitment. So being realistic and having the support of others helps you plan and helps you succeed. This is not something you do alone. It takes a whole family. It takes a whole village.
I want to remind the people online that there's the AHA slides, a Q&A link. If you have a question, you can type it into that format. And we have another question. Oh, Great, and it will come back to you too. Thank you.
My question is for the young lady who played the role of the slave owner who spoke to Uncle Butter and his sister and her daughter. You played that role so well. I was wondering what it felt like for you to be in that.
Please pass her the mic. And yeah.
It took a lot of gumption, actually, to be able to bring that forth. Didn't you think my acting was wonderful? It was acting, and it's very difficult. In fact, when the scene ends, I'm sitting here and I'm just really trying to recover because I'm not a person who feels hate, really, and so it's very difficult. I had great coaching from Miss Enid Pickett and from my castmates, and I appreciate it so much. But thank you for your question.
Thank you. We have another question, and then one over there.
Hi, my name's Margaret. Hi, Sierra. Good to see you. And I'm a friend and family member from a long time back of Enid and her daughter and friends. And but I wanted to say thank you for showing that statement from Angela Davis. And I just wanted to say to the lady that's having questions about what you can do, stand up, say something, go to a protest, and if anyone comes to attack you or anything like that, sit on the ground. It doesn't mean you're standing down, but in the days when Enid and I were growing up, they sent what's called provocateurs into the crowds. That's much what they're doing, trying to start in Los Angeles for no reason. And that's just me speaking, but I have my opinions because I came out of that. But what I wanted to say about seeing Angela Davis on the screen is I found out later that Angela Davis, and I was sitting here trying to think of the name of the woman that was in the Bush, one of either Father Bush or son Bush administration, a black woman who was Republican, came out of Stanford University, very smart, very intelligent woman. She and Angela Davis showed up at that church. Their parents came together at that church after the bombing of the children in Birmingham. And Angela Davis was the only one in the film, but they knew each other from different ends of the political spectrum as children and grew up into totally different political blocs, both highly intelligent women. So for me to see that, I remembered that, hearing about that somewhere recently. And so history doesn't go away. I want to say that. It repeats itself. And so this is an extreme situation we're all facing again, but we faced it from the Vietnam War on with civil rights and all sorts of other things.
Thank you,
the
Margaret.
Black Panther Party standing up. People with
Thank you,
food
Margaret.
programs standing up.
Is it Margaret?
Simple things, taking care of children, reading to children, stand up.
Actually,
Help them with music, stand up.
why don't we actually follow as invitation? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Thank you. Stand up. Say hello. Actually, say hello to your neighbor. Say hello to your neighbor. This is a community theater production. Thank you, Margaret. Say hello to your neighbor. We do have another question, which I'd love to entertain. Say hello. Say hello. Decrease that fear. There's a question in the back. This is wonderful. Thank you.
we're creating our responses. I mean, I think one of the beautiful things about the Freedom Festival and Eden's acceptance of that invitation is that it's an invitation for us to continue to create what Juneteenth means, what our history means. We're creating history together in this moment by being present in this play and with your performance. It's such a beautiful offering. We'd like to hear that next question from the audience, please.
Test.
Grace,
Test.
I
Oh. Thank you. Hi, Rena Charles. Hi, Dr. Calatrina. I just want to say exactly what Enid Pickett was saying, and Rielis as well, because I've been doing events around the county for Juneteenth, and also going to AAPIC events, the Asian American Pacific Islander events through this month, and also events for Pride and Pride Month. And everybody's asking the same question of what do we do? What do we do? And the same thing keeps coming up, and it's gather, and it's come together, and it's go to events, be together, be joyous. So I just wanted to share that, yes, coming together, everything, it's what we do.
Thank you, Rena. As we close, the closing is coming from our actors.
Can I?
So, hold on a sec. I've got wonderful news in my ear that I'll say afterwards, but I'd love for your voices to be bringing us out, and then I'll tell you the views that we've had. Please. I think so.
Okay. So my message is that the struggle continues. It continues, it continues, it continues. There's no time that we should be laying back and thinking that this situation will not arise again. So that's what the whole story to me comes from Juneteenth, as the struggle continues and the power is in the people.
There's the actor's opportunity to say what you would.
I just want to say that it's going to take each and every one of us, and we really need to learn how to remove the ego and the discourse and work together, because we all really are striving for a common cause here. And in these times, it can't just be the status quo. It can't just be the people who are always out on the front line. We need more people on the front line. We need more people to stand up. And just move in love and kindness. That goes a long way. It's not easy sometimes, I get it, we're all human, right? But it pays off because there's a job to be done.
Thank you.
I know that one of the lessons that seems clear throughout history that I really hold to is that nothing that promotes fear and nothing that conjures hate ever comes from a good place. And I think that's a simple way to look and see what we can do better.
Remember that we do things for the children. When we talk about freedom and we think about what can we do, remember that sometimes we should just check ourselves first and know that fear is the only weapon that the system has. And the details change, and just walk away from that fear and find what you're afraid of. Figure out what we need freedom from. Run towards the light, and when you see your shadow, realize you're just facing the wrong direction.
I believe, Enid, that would, one said, there was from the audience, thank you for the online audience saying, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
I think it's mostly a concept or perception of time. Some things as Ngami was saying, and Ngami, and also I think it was Sabria, this is not new. We've been here before, so to speak. We've had movements, we've had struggles, we've had history. So we've lived through it, and I think Sankofa is going to be my go-to for this. We have to understand what our history is, because it's a living history, what we are experiencing right now in current events. It's a living history that's related and connected to our past history. So according to Sankofa's feelings and meanings, we have to really understand our history, and I'm an advocate and teacher of the truth in our curriculum. And the truth is made up of stories, and there's more than one story. There are multiple stories. So as an advocate and a teacher and an activist, let all the stories, as Bruce said before, we all have a voice. That voice translates into stories, into plays, into music, into history. We all have an opportunity to hear and learn about the multiple voices and histories. Just imagine if that was the world we live in, and there was more than one story that we are aware of. 28% of the population is aware of Juneteenth, 2-8. But not anymore, because now look at you.
As well as 52 viewers around the world. Exactly. With that, you'll see that there are QR codes for the Freedom Festival around. There are more sessions that are online, invitations for you to share your voice, to continue to share the story that has already been told here, and to continue a tradition that is now well grounded in the community theater led by Enid Pickett's Juneteenth with the Enid Pickett Players. Please give them a huge round of applause. And with that, we come to a close.